battered the U.S. state of Louisiana. Winds up to 240 km per hour caused severe damages with power cuts to more than 500,000 homes and a chemical fire from an industrial plant. But the feared 20-foot storm surge was avoided as the hurricane, the state's biggest, tracked further east. Laura has now been downgraded to a tropical storm status and has crossed into Arkansas. President Donald Trump was briefed at the Federal Emergency Management Agency in Washington and said he would go to the area during this weekend. Laura and another storm, Marco, earlier swept across the Caribbean, killing 24 people. And on to the weather forecast for today. Trinidad and Tobago will be mostly sunny and at times breezy. The day would be interrupted by brisk showers in a few areas. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves 2 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. High tides at 1:27 p.m., low tides at 6:24 p.m., sunset at 6:16 p.m. The current temperature is 29 degrees Celsius and expected to reach a high of 34 degrees Celsius as the day progresses. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. news on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us at 10 a.m. for news update. I am Ilma Raton Singh wishing you a good morning.
Well, thank you very much, Uma, for that 8 o'clock newscast on 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. We are into the third and final hour of today's edition of the morning program. Let's go to our sponsors this morning. And when we come back, of course, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Stay with us here.
With a heart full of thanksgiving and a spirit of joy, we pledge to lovingly serve humanity as service to God. Come, celebrate and win in Extra Foods' 55th anniversary promotion. Be the lucky winners of 55-inch smart televisions. Just spend $300 and fill out the entry form and place it in the box at the branches located Arima, Grand Bazaar, Endeavour, and Chaguanas. Drawing date on 31st August 2020. Extra Foods, always something extra for you, and thank you for shopping at Extra Foods.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rocha Douglas Road, Barraco, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Join me every Sunday for Love Vibration from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. featuring all your favorite love songs from every decade and the most powerful quotes ever written. You can send your shout-outs. WhatsApp 378-4975 or you can simply call 636-7547 227-5739 or go online to www.975radio.com. It's hosted by yours truly, DJ Shaw, on U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
I found a love for me.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Can't go anywhere to enjoy yourself? Well, join us on 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio, as we got your Saturdays covered. The party starts from 8 a.m. Yes, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We got Sharon Baruch alongside DJ Vishal. 12 to 3 p.m. Captain Kendall is in full flight and will take you straight into 3 to 6 as DJ Anil will put you into the mix. Then from 6 to 9, the man DJ Sean, half man, half amazing, takes the spotlight from 6 to 9. And from 9 to 1, the man Corky D steps into the building and he will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com as we put you in the party mood with all of our DJs and announcers. Tell your friends, tell your family, 975radio.com.
I love this country bad. I don't want to leave at all. Ever since if you see how the island progressing every day, new plans that they making sun or rain. Men down here, they got brain. Man, if I go to tell you about, yeah, it's gonna take me more than a year, you see. Happiness killing me. So I tell you, sweet, sweet Trinidad, cause I love this country bad. I don't want to leave at all. Ever since I small, look up all in sweet Trinidad. Brother, cause I'm feeling glad when I dead is bury me in the center of the city. Yes. Really?
Yes, well, we celebrate our independence on a Monday with a public holiday, hence the reason why I'm playing some of these, what I will call patriotic songs. That's the voice there of a Lord Funny, sweet, sweet Trinidad and Tobago. Beautiful selection indeed. As we continue with our discussion, let's take our callers here on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Final call, Kendrick.
Good morning, good morning.
Yes. Just for the people who are asking the question why the opposition don't nominate somebody for the position of Speaker of the House, I put that question to the opposition MP yesterday, and the reply was, I don't want to discuss that on the phone. So there's a possibility that a nomination might be forthcoming. Thanks.
Okay, but thank you very much, Mr. Mike. Well, that's the question, or rather the concern raised by Camille Robinson Regis, where she said that if the opposition have certain concerns and objections over the nomination of Bridget Andy St. George, well, they should have their own nominee. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hi, Kendrick. This is my third call, and I won't call back again. But I wanted to talk. I'll ask you a question. Talk a little bit about the what's going to happen today in Parliament. They're going to talk about the legislation of wearing a mask, and that is a very sensitive issue for a lot of people. I want to know if they're going to fine somebody hundreds of thousands of dollars. We have a lot of women who are Muslim women, and they wear the hijab or the habij. I forget what it's called, hijab. And they will cover their faces. And I've seen many women not wearing masks, but that veil is very loose. It only covers the nose and a part of your eye, but then on the bottom it's pretty open. And I don't know how this government is going to pass legislation when many of our people are wearing masks that are not up to standards.
Well, hold on. Ms. Madras, I have said on many occasions on this program that the government of the day cannot legislate for everything. We as a people need to be responsible. We have a situation in front of us where we are bordering on 1,500 positive coronavirus cases in this country. In my humble opinion, the health system is overwhelmed. Hence the reason why the Ministry of Health would have taken certain action to release some people, over 400 of them, and asking people to quarantine themselves at home. It's a real challenge in front of us. So we cannot blame the government for everything. We need to be responsible.
What I'm saying
no, hold on. But you are creating a situation and you're creating a scenario where you're asking certain questions which I cannot answer, the government they cannot answer.
Okay, all right. We have to have this open discussion because there's a lot on the table. Mm-hmm. And part of that is our Constitution. And if we want Constitution reform, we have to look at the rights of the citizens. Now, if it's a problem like a virus, we should all have that self-responsibility. The onus is on us. Self-responsible. Just like you are self-responsible to teach your children. But I wonder how they're going to cross that line now and police everybody if it's legislatively mandated.
Well, that's a very fair question, because my point and contention here this morning, here it is, you're asking the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to extend themselves by ensuring that people who are self-quarantined observe all of the guidelines. You're asking the police service to extend their hand, more resources and what have you. And as a people, we do not behave in a particular manner. So what's going to happen?
It's true, it's a pattern of behavior, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I always say to myself, that pattern of behavior comes from where? Who instigates that pattern of behavior, of recklessness, of greed and no self-discipline? Okay, I know, right? I get a little esoteric there. All right, I'll let you go, Kendrick. Thank you.
Well, no, I could contribute towards that. It's a sense of values. It's part of our culture as a people. We do not take things seriously in this country. We don't. And I am all speaking off the top of my head. But most people would agree with me. We do not take things seriously in this country. For many, this is a big joke when you look at what is happening outside there. I challenge any one of you to go into a supermarket, go into any establishment, and you'll actually see what is happening. As I said, the wearing of a mask is not the wear at all. That is not the answer to the problem, but it is an additional layer of security. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, yes.
Good morning,
yes. Yeah, turn the volume down on your radio, please.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Santa Cruz here. Morning to everybody.
Yeah, good morning, Santa Cruz.
Yeah, to me, the leaders don't even have the political maturity to say, well, okay, if it is you had a problem with the speaker, just voice it, let process take its time, and at least let the parliament settle. The Prime Minister and all, I've seen in other countries, people have a contention with a person. What they would do, they would remove them. But no, he's Prime Minister. Prime Minister is top dog. So you see, we don't even have the political maturity to say, well, okay, let's put aside something and deal with the main issue. That is the whole problem. That's one of the problem there. But at the end of the day, when the legislation comes in place, and that is the next problem, who will be there to properly man it? But that is the first thing. When the law is passed, is we as the citizens supposed to say, well, okay, we have to obey the law.
And to come back to another cardinal point you and I would have raised on this radio station, where we would have spoken about the speed limit on the highway, which is 100 kilometers an hour. And we play cat and mouse. When we see police officers around, we slow down. So here it is now. Now, this is a health challenge in front of us.
Yeah.
Here it is. Your life, your health, your well-being is at stake here if you do not follow all of the guidelines. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Only put on our mask when we see a police officer?
When it's convenient, no? And one final thing I want to say is just I was a victim of card skimming. My whole salary, my account clean out. Right? So just as I would just to members of the public, to the 97.5 family, when you go, try to be more conscious, be careful. We have to be very good in finding ways to protect the card. Because the bank told me they will sort it out and they saw the transactions from the point in time. So we just have to be careful. Be very careful. And one final thing. On Instagram, now I'm a member of a fraternity. I saw the picture, the gentleman dressed in his full regalia. So I asked a question. One answered in the positive, the other one did not answer, but I realized they're on game. So they come with this thing saying that they are the Illuminati. What happened as a branch of the Freemasons and them. But some of them are gimmicks. Do not accept them on Instagram, because what will happen, they will start to harass you. They will want to threaten and say they know where your family live in, they have to send your bank account and this. They mamagaing people and telling them they're giving you $500,000 and they can travel any part of the world. I'm a member of that fraternity, and I can tell you that is nonsense. I can speak for experience for my father as well as myself. Be very careful, people, when you see these people come and say they could give you $5 million on an account and we send any part of the world. Be very careful. You will let good sense prevail. So that is just my message to Trinidad and Tobago for the day. Lockdown and listening.
All right, well, thank you very much. Well, no, you are quite right. There are a number of people outside there who are scammers and schemers and will try to manufacture all sort of schemes to get rich quickly. And you, as a responsible individual, need to be very careful indeed. There's no scheme can get you rich quickly, you know. Some people at the end of the day will lose out. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning. Kimoti, what's up? All right, well, I hear you, Kimoti. Well, yeah, well, that's true, you know. I would have witnessed some taxi drivers applying their vehicle for hire, not wearing masks, even maxi taxi drivers. But in the main, some people are adhering to the guidelines. Well, today, this matter will be discussed in a parliament, and no doubt it will get the blessings of both the opposition and the government. How this will pan out in the coming days and in the coming weeks, well, it's your guess. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. And the guy talk about the cards coming and whatever, right? Yesterday, I would have been in Shagwana.
Oh, hold on. This is Miss Limehead Road, yes?
Yes,
well, yes. Well, you take a high test, Gil. What's happening with you?
Well, I get a little tired. I need to rest.
Oh, yeah. Get tired of the politics of the day?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Yes, so I would have been in Chaguanas yesterday by a mall, right? Went to park my vehicle. So I was going to go somewhere, so I parked my vehicle there. And I said I was going to go to the ATM to take out some money. There was this guy standing there with a thick silver chain around his neck, kind of chain thing, a thick one, with a big cross on his chest. And he's standing next to the machine, and he doesn't seem to want to move. So I was afraid to go, right? So then I went and did my other business. And then I happened to be on the main road now. I said, I'll go to the other branch of that ATM machine. Would you believe the same guy was standing next to that machine, and there's nobody, no police, no security, nobody to move this guy from there. They're just wandering there. They're just hanging about. I think then they're looking at people who are taking out money, and I don't know what they could do to them after. So I'm just cautioning people out there, please beware. This guy is there. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Limehead Road. Well, yeah, valued contribution indeed. And again, we would have made repeated calls on this program for people, or whenever you have to use the ATMs and so on, to be aware of your surroundings. Always be conscious. Do not draw attention to yourself. A number of people outside there waiting to pounce on you, you know. Yeah, just waiting to pounce on you. So you need to be very, very careful indeed, people, especially when you're going to ATMs in the nights and so on, okay? So be aware of your surroundings. Well, today, yes, of course, Parliament will open today, the 12th Parliament, the first session. And the first on the order of the paper is the election of a speaker. Well, we have this bacchanal concerning the election of a speaker. Election of a deputy speaker, oath or affirmation. Then you've got the prayers, the announcement by the speaker, bills brought from the Senate, petition, and then papers, reports from committees, Prime Minister's questions, urgent questions, questions on notice, statement by ministers, and what have you. So that's part of the procedure, part of the process in Parliament today. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning to you all.
Well, good morning, dear. And how are you this morning?
All right. Can I really talk about the bank ATM?
Yes.
But we should all be very vigilant and go to the ATM only when the bank is open.
Mm-hmm.
That way, any little problem, you get attended to. Because they have security in the bank, and also they go back and forth to the ATM.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to be careful.
All right, well, that would
Yes, and I hope they remove the speaker.
All right, well, thank you very much. Well, yes, on a positive note, you are issuing certain advisories to people outside there, and I agree with you. Go to the bank when it is open to use the ATM. As I said, do not draw attention to yourself, folks. Do not draw attention to yourself. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Finally, Kenrick.
Yeah, good morning.
Just to remind you that the opposition said they would agree with the legislation for wearing face masks in principle.
In principle.
Right? So that they may very well raise objections to this some 200,000 fine I'm hearing.
No, I find that's a bit too harsh, yes.
Yes, so they may raise objection to that, but they agree with the legislation in principle only at this time.
Because I can tell you, I try to observe the guidelines. I try to observe the guidelines, but wearing a mask, if you're out in the public, while we understand it's for your own protection, a layer of protection, it can be quite challenging and quite cumbersome, you know. As I told you, I spoke to one frontline worker, a nurse attached to the San Fernando General Hospital, and sometimes this particular friend of mine would have to work for 12 hours. And the wearing of a mask for 12 hours, my friend, can be a bit tedious. It can be very, very uncomfortable indeed. So I am hoping that good sense prevail. While it is important that we add this layer of protection to ourselves in this COVID environment in which we operate, there may be some people who may have, let's say, certain concerns about the legislation. To me, the fine is a bit too much, but we'll hear the argument coming from the opposition a bit later on this matter. On another issue, tutor is saying work from home is still an issue for teachers. Remember, school will be open on Tuesday. I say will be open, but hold on. Not physically, but virtually. And there are challenges facing teachers, principals, as to how they move forward with the opening of schools, virtually, of course. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hey, Ken, morning.
Good morning, Brian. You know, this morning I lobbied for you, my sympathies, Brian. I thought you would have been in the Senate, boy.
Okay.
No, I'm being very serious. You would have labored for the United National Congress. You're an advocate for the policies of the UNC. And I'm being very serious. I thought that you would have given an opportunity to serve at a higher level, my friend.
Well, as much as I appreciate, sir, and I thank you, I would have told you before, with your good friend Mukesh, that at this time, I am not interested in being in the parliament, as I have put a lot of my focus in my legal career. I have also I'm now assisting the party at a different level now.
Well, remember, you cannot advertise your product or service, eh?
Pardon?
I say you cannot advertise your product or service, eh? No, I'm not of a legal mind, but I'm just advising you. All right, my friend?
Fun?
I say I am not of a legal mind, but I'm just advising you, okay?
Yeah, like I said, there's no way that's being done. Anyway,
go ahead.
I listened to you this morning as well.
Yeah.
And, well, yes, I do agree that those fines are a bit harsh and onerous. I do believe that those fines, my question to ask is, where was the consultation in bringing how much this 250,000, which is for a fixed penalty? Fine, I understand that. We look at the Summary Courts Act, which...
Well, but Brian, hold on. Walk me through this. Well, of course, based on what we are hearing, the legislation will be passed. Based on the argument put forward by the Attorney General, what are the ramifications? What are the repercussions? How will this matter be felt in people's pocket if they are found wanting?
Well, first of all, the Attorney General, if you read the legislation, my friend, there's nothing in the legislation that mentions the wearing of a face mask, right? This isn't dealing with breaches of the public health ordinance by bringing an amended to the section 150 of the legislation.
Well, I mentioned that yesterday. Well, go ahead.
Right. So, section 150 of the ordinance is what deals with breaches of the Public Health Act. So, in bringing section 150 now, in the amended way they are doing it, it has to come with regulation.
All right, but hold on, Brian. Let me provoke you a bit here this morning and share some information with us, because this is about informing the public. If this legislation does not get the necessary blessings, and I'm just saying if the legislation does not get the necessary blessing, according to the Attorney General in a previous conversation, he said that the police service has within itself certain powers to, let's say, prosecute people for the not wearing of a mask based on the public health ordinance. Is that
yes,
true?
The public health ordinance is what the regulations is being done on, right? And that is where the government is now looking to make some amendments. So then after the amendment is done, the regulations will then be brought forward to deal with the wearing of the face mask. Now, you also have under section 150, I believe it's section 150 subsection 8, that deals where the minister has been given the power to deal with the fines, which is, as you know, is $20,000, which is a ticketable offense. Now, that is the problem there where I have, in that the minister isn't given all the power outside of parliamentary oversight. And I do believe that that needs to go to Parliament for approval. Plus, when you're dealing with this, and you're looking at where you're seeing the $250,000 fine, it is very disproportionate to what is happening in society now.
All right. In essence, you are saying that you are saying your argument is that you agree with the legislation, you agree with the wearing of masks given the COVID environment in which we are operating in. But there are certain, let's say, specifics within the legislation itself which the opposition will try to bring forward to protect the rights of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes?
Well, if I may remind you, as well as that of the listening public, that in April this year, it was Kamala Prasad who first came out and said the wearing of a face mask is important. It was Minister Diyal Singh who, before April, was saying that they should not wear a face mask. A face mask is not important. So these are the things that you have to look at. And also, Ken, in looking at the bill itself, you have to also consider where were consultations held to deal with this legislation, especially with the exorbitant fines. Because if it is being, now first of all, if it is being piloted by the Attorney General, right, at what level did the Minister of Health have to play with ensuring that this legislation has some relevance?
But hold on. From your reading of the legislation, is it a one-off? Let's say, okay, fine, I am found guilty of not wearing a mask in the public. Fine, will I be ticketed or will I be fined for a first offense?
I know, again, the legislation is a little vague with those things. Now, in addition to that, under Section 150, subsection 2, where it empowers a police officer to act, I do believe that that section should be re-amended, in which it should have where police officers acting in public.
All right. Therein lies the contention here, Brian. I am saying to you and the listening audience outside there that when we get into the specifics, that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service be aware of what the specifics are so that you do not prosecute people wrongfully.
Right. That is why I said in sending my views on the bill that, as like I said, I'm working at a different level with the party now. In that part should be specifically stated where a person is in breach in public. Because if you're in your home, are you going to wear a mask? No. This has to deal with the issue of being in the public domain.
All right.
Because if you're in your vehicle and you're in traffic and you don't have on a mask, your windows are up, air condition is on, does that mean that you're in the public domain still?
Well, that's a question raised with me this morning. Can one be prosecuted for not wearing a mask if you're in the privacy of your vehicle? That is to say, if you are driving in the public. Well, you have to be driving in the public, of course. Can you be prosecuted? These are some of the specifics which we ought to know, and I'm sure that there are many, many questions outside there. I cannot answer the question. So what I'm suggesting to you and the listening audience to do is to tune on to the Parliament channel today and listen to the argument, listen to the debate. It is important. It is important, so you'll get all of the information coming to you. Folks, it's just about 18 minutes here to the hour of 9 o'clock. Note at the top of the hour, you can join the Bees Hi-Fi. At this time, let me take another call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning. Kendrick, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
Right.
What's happening?
What I am most interested in today in Parliament is not whether Bridget and Mr. George elected or not. I am interested in the seating arrangements of the opposition.
Why are you interested in that?
Because the seating arrangement of the opposition indicates where Kamala Prasad's successor is going to rely on her support.
Well, first of all, David Lee will sit on her right hand, yes?
Right.
Yeah.
Good. I want to know who is on the left. Is it going to be Saddam Hussein? Is it going to be Tabakit? Or is it going to be Send Augustin? Definitely, I cannot see Munilal sitting there.
Well, Munilal may sit lower down to the end.
He might be at the back.
Yes.
He might be down to the back. Right? So will Dr. Bodo and Rudy Indar Singh. But your key people who are supposed to lead your fight with the three people in front of you, which will be Colm Imbut, Faris Al-Rawi, and Dr. Rowley, you need to have strong, competent people to face them all head on.
Well, when you look at the seating arrangement of the government of the day, and you look at the seating arrangement of the opposition, you may find Rodney Charles in the front bench, yes?
That's right. Rodney Charles will be at the front. Saddam Hussein, Tabakit MP, St. Augustine MP. These are the people, but can they do battle with Dr. Rowley and Fitzgerald Hines and Colm Imbut?
Well, I think you know the answer to that, you know.
You understand? So, I mean, the party, the ULC is already in opposition. You lost the election, well, I shouldn't say. You fight to reach second and you got second. So, I mean, the party has gotten what it deserves. I mean, if you play To lose, like West Indies, you will lose.
All right. No. You have always spoke on this program about education. Your thoughts on school opening on Tuesday virtually?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How challenging this could be for the teaching fraternity, the principals, the students, the parents, and by extension the Ministry of Education, because they have to provide most of the resources. It is indeed a challenge.
It is a challenge. This is one of the best moves, and it's an excellent. No, what comes out clear here, Kenrick? It appears to be that this proposal probably was given to Garcia and he rejected it, because the quickness and the speed in which this proposal was tabled indicated that the background work was already done.
And more than that too, there would have been consultation sometime last
That's
week
right.
with all stakeholders, and my understanding is that there will be another meeting today to discuss this matter going forward.
Right. But my point about it, the education scenario in the entire world is challenged all over, from England to Europe, all over. So we cannot sit and wait for it to change. You have to try something. I give the Minister of Education 110% credit. Try it. You need to come out and try, learn from your mistakes, and adopt the system, change the system in order to try to get learning out to the children. But you can't sit down and, the online that they tried during the last period, the last couple of months, hasn't really worked. That they admit that. You have to try something new. I give the Minister of Education 110% correct. Bring them out, start a process, see how it goes, try and iron the nicks and knacks, and maybe on or before the next 2 months, you might be able to get a system that can work. But just sitting down and teachers staying home and trying to administer learning ain't gonna happen. I support the teachers going out to the school system from Tuesday 100%.
All right, well, thank you very much. Well, yesterday I mentioned this to you, but a note was just passed to me. School term will begin on September 1st. Provisions are in place for students who can't learn online and who can learn online. For those students who can do online training, packages will be printed and must be picked up and dropped off weekly by parents. By September 7th, schools can start teaching. However, by September 14th, all schools must be fully engaged in the teaching and learning process. Teaching can be viewed on Channel 4 and 16, as well as you can take it on radio. So that's the information coming to the fore here this morning. Well, despite all of that, there will be challenges. Let's take this call on the line. All right, I'm sorry to miss your call, my friend, but you need to call us back. We're heading up to the hour of 9 o'clock. It's just about 13 minutes here to the hour of 9. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Kenrick.
Good morning, sir.
This mask wearing legislation, it's for the wearing mask in the public.
Yes.
Not wearing mask in your vehicle if you're driving.
Well, the vehicle is in the public places.
Yeah, your vehicle is in the public, but your glass off and you're driving on the highway. You're not into walking the street or going into banks or going into supermarket and going into where. I think that is where the mask have the legislation for the mask away.
Well, I'm sure this question will be raised today in Parliament, and I do not want to share anything with you which I'm not sure.
What I understand with the legislation is for wearing masks in the public, not when you're driving. I understand the thing. So let me hear what happened today, and let me give it a say what they're coming with.
All right, well, I hear you. Well, yeah, hence the reason why I've been advocating that people look at the Parliament channel today and take in the debate, so you can get first-hand information. All right, let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, good morning, Brian.
I mean, I agree with you there, and I also agree with the other caller was saying. See, but again, when you leave legislation to be very vague, right, it leads to too many questions, right? And that is why legislation must always be put forward in a way that you don't have to ask the pilot of the bill, well, what about this? What about that? How is this being done? Why is this being done so?
All right, so there must not be no gray matter. There must be black and white, yes?
Well, not only that. You see, it also goes down to the legislative drafting. Now, I've always said that one of my greatest advantages of having worked with an attorney general, was learning legislative drafting. And we do have very good legislative drafters, but the challenge that you get with that is that if you are not there's no real guidance as to what is the policy, what are we looking at, and it's being drafted accordingly, the drafters themselves have to go on what they're getting to use. So again, a very good example to give is even in the legislation. That's why I always tell people, just don't go on what you read on the newspaper. Get the legislation, get the bill and read it. That you're also looking where, if it is a matter of wearing a mask in public, the legislation that is being brought forward has no mention of a face mask. This is why the regulations have to come after the passing of this bill. And sadly, the government constantly brings regulations after. So when the regulations come, there's no debate on it. It will come right after.
All right, but you would agree with me, Brian, when I say to you and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to look at or to rather take in the debate today and get first-hand information. Look at the pros, the cons, the argument put forward by both the opposition and the government of the day. Listen, digest what is being said, and so you may be better informed going forward, because this legislation is to deal with public health, to deal with this pandemic facing us. We are bordering on 1,500 positive cases in the country, folks. We need to be very, very careful indeed. Let's take this final caller on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning. Kimauti.
You know, they have no mask in the face.
Well,
some of them have, some of them have.
Well, there's not much I can do about that. All I can do is call on people to adhere to the guidelines, to protect yourself, protect your family. Let's flatten the curve, so to speak, of course. Okay, let's go to some commercials, and when I come back, I'll wrap up today's edition of the morning program. You Talk on 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper.
You've been waiting. You've been asking. Now, are you ready? Are you ready for the hottest Sunday morning radio show? Murtani Sundays returns. Feel the power. Tune in to U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Radio, every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. with yours truly, the DJ Flavio Experience. We pop in again every Sunday. U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. Can't go anywhere to enjoy yourself? Well, join us on 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio, as we got your Saturdays covered. The party starts from 8 a.m. Yes, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We got Sharon Baruch alongside DJ Vishal. 12 to 3 p.m. Captain Kendall is in full flight and will take you straight into 3 to 6 as DJ Anil will put you into the mix. Then from 6 to 9, the man DJ Sean, half man, half amazing, takes the spotlight from 6 to 9. And from 9 to 1, the man Corky D steps into the building and he will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com as we put you into party mood with all of our DJs and announcers. Tell your friends, tell your family, 975radio.com.
Good afternoon, this is your captain speaking with just a little flight information.
Fasten your seatbelt as I take you into a musical journey every Saturday from 12 to 3 p.m. Join me, Captain Kendall, for the open house party on Hot Like Pepper weekends as I keep you pumping with the music from all genres. In the mood for party music? Well, then there's only one place to be on a Saturday. The open house party with Captain Kendall on the #1 frequency, 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Yes, as we wrap up today's edition of the morning program, You Talk on 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper. Let's thank all of our callers for sharing the thoughts with us this morning. Your views and your thoughts are always welcome on this program. It's part of our mandate to give you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, our ardent listening audience, an opportunity to ventilate, to say what is on your mind. You will find this in no other radio station but 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper, multicultural radio. You are with the morning program on 975. I am Kenrick Juggernaut, inviting you to join me again on Monday. Yes, on Monday is a holiday. It's Independence Day, but I will be here to take your calls and to engage you in discussion. So catch me on Monday morning just after the 6 o'clock hour, where we'll do this all over again. I am Kenrick Juggernaut. Do have a safe and blessed day. Whatever you're doing, take care of yourself. Observe all of the guidelines as established by the Ministry of Health. Be safe, people. Protect yourself, and let's flatten the curve. Good morning. I'm out of here, but before I go, I want to leave you with this selection.
Gonna got